I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, then you click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, our special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, it doesn't make a difference. You can outfit your entire person or your entire home with Renegades of Puck merchandise, and frankly, we would appreciate it if you would do so because we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can still find us on X for at least a little bit longer. We are on Threads and trying to build that account, so please join us over there on Threads. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and still for a while longer on TikTok as well, but we're thinking of abandoning that because, frankly, it's a mess. The place is a mess. But you can find us on social media. It doesn't cost you a penny. It doesn't take you a second to do. And it would sure go a long way to helping the Renegades Puck. YouTube is where you can really help us make our biggest gains. So please, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get all of the episodes of Renegades of Puck TV completely for free. Plus, you get our recaps, our game previews, our analyst breakdowns, and so much more right there on YouTube. Just search Renegades of Puck. Hit that subscribe button. And if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the notification buttons. You'll find out when the latest episodes of Renegades of Puck TV are coming out. Like this one that's going to be coming out at about 4 o'clock in the morning. But it's going to be there. We'll have it ready. We'll have it done on time. You can also find the audio podcast on numerous podcast platforms. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, and several others. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today for podcast. Thanks to the full press NHL network of the Renegades of Puck, have gone from local to global in the year 2023 and now into 2024, looking to continue that momentum already off to a great start. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you Renegades out there for supporting the show. Thank you so much. Venmo is how you can support the show financially. If you'd like to make a donation, search Renegades of Puck in Venmo or scan that QR code that is currently on your screen. Easy enough to do. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. As you know, we have made significant upgrades in our technology, and we are suddenly thinking with a 40-degree studio that maybe it's time to invest in a heating element of some sort to try to keep the temperature at least reasonable out here in the studio. So every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, and we sure do appreciate everybody who's been able to help us out. Again, scan a QR code or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo. Now, listen, I know it's beyond late enough and it's beyond cold enough. So let's get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage. Time for me to deliver the goods. Time for operation number 849. That's right. Time for show number 849. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 4th place in the Central Division. I forgot to write down. 4th place in the Central Division after 39 games, skated a record of 21-17-1. 43 points has them 10 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche, but they're also 6 points behind their next opponent, the Dallas Stars. We'll recap the entirety of the Central Division here momentarily. The Dallas Stars on home ice are 12-6-2. The Preds on the road are 9-7-1. The Dallas Stars have scored 135 goals in the season. The Nashville Predators scored 122. The Dallas Stars have given up 116, while the Nashville Predators have also given up 122, so they have a goal differential of 0, while Dallas has a goal differential of plus 19. Now, I promised the entirety of the Central Division updated standings through this evening. The Colorado Avalanche are in first place after 39 games skated with a record of 25-11-3. They have 53 points, 1 point clear of second place Winnipeg, who have skated in 2 fewer games. Their record is 24-9-4. They have 52 points. The Dallas Stars have skated in 37 games. They have a record of 22-10-5. 49 points has them just 4 points behind first place, and they are 6 points ahead of the 5th place Nashville Predators. Preds are in 5th with 43. The Arizona Coyotes have 40 points, are in 6th place. The St. Louis Blues down there at 39 points, and the Minnesota Wild at 36, and the Chicago Blackhawks in last place in the Central Division with 24 points on the season. Now, for the Nashville Predators, big-time tilt in Dallas, and we are about to break that one down. We're going to preview it, but let me tell you about the upcoming week ahead for the schedule with the Nashville Predators. After this game in Dallas, Tuesday back home, face off against the Anaheim Ducks, and then next Friday back in Dallas to face off against the very same Stars yet again. Then back home immediately for a back-to-back on Saturday versus the New York Islanders. Then on the 15th at Vegas and the 18th of January at the LA Kings. Now, this is going to be the second of 4 regular season meetings between the Nashville Predators and Dallas Stars. They're called Central Division rivals for a reason. We go back to December the 23rd when the Nashville Predators fell to the Dallas Stars on home ice 3-2. That story sounds so innocent, and that's not exactly how it went. Saros 31 out of 34. He took the loss in this one. McCarron and Sissons got the goals for the Preds. Wedgwood, 19 out of 21, picks up the victory against the Nashville Predators. Dadenoff, Smith, and Hakanpää pick up the goals. It is how the Dallas Stars reached 3. The Predators managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, playing a near-complete game against the Dallas Stars. Preds held a 2-1 lead until the final 15 seconds when the Preds simply stopped playing, and they gave up 2 goals, and they suffered their worst loss of the season. They've been beaten by worse scores, but this by far was their worst loss of the season. So the Dallas Stars hopefully taught the Nashville Predators a lesson about playing all the way through the full 60 minutes. Dallas Stars are a good professional team. That's why they're currently sitting in an automatic playoff spot. These 2 teams will meet 2 more times, and the regular season series will be wrapped up by February the 15th. So on the 12th, that was next Friday, the Preds are back in Dallas again. And then on the 15th of February, the Preds will host the Dallas Stars one last time for the regular season. Who knows what could happen down the road. Now, the Dallas Stars, let's take a look at their most recent stretch of hockey. Let's go back and talk about their previous 5. We'll start after the Christmas break. On December the 27th, it was a 2-1 loss at the St. Louis Blues. On the 29th of December, it was a 5-4 overtime win versus Chicago. On the 31st of December, on New Year's Eve, it was an 8-1 win versus Chicago. On the 2nd of January, starting the brand new year with a 4-3 loss versus Montreal, but then on the 4th, their most recent game, a 5-4 overtime loss versus the Colorado Avalanche. Now, for the Nashville Predators, they do have 2 situations they need to look at as far as roster management. Barry is still listed as day-to-day, so he has been out injured. Tomasino, we do not know what his availability will be. He will have a hearing with the league office. He will be suspended. You'll hear a lot more about that in the Reverse Sports full game recap that is coming up here shortly. Now, let's take a look inside the numbers. Let's take a look at the matchup between the Nashville Predators and the Dallas Stars. In the goals for category, the Dallas Stars are simply having an incredible season. 135 goals for on the season is 3.59 per game. That's a really strong number. That's 4th overall in the NHL. 3.08 is the Nashville Predators number. It's respectable, but it's all the way down at 18th in the NHL. In the goals against category, these 2 teams are remarkably similar. 3.11 for Dallas is 15th overall in the league. 3.13 for the Nashville Predators is 16th in the league. When it comes to the shots for category, again, these 2 teams remarkably close in this category. Preds 30.5 per game is 19th overall in the NHL, and 30.6 for Dallas is 16th in the NHL. Shots against, 30.5 for the Nashville Predators is 18th in the National Hockey League. Shots against for the Dallas Stars is 30.2 per game. That's 15th best in the NHL. In the special teams, it is the Dallas Stars with the better of both units. We'll start on the power play. 22.4% is 12th best in the NHL, and a conversion rate 24 out of 107 opportunities in the season. The Preds converting at 21.5% is 14th, not too far down from Dallas. 29 out of 135 opportunities. The penalty kill, though, the Dallas Stars are remarkably far ahead of the Nashville Predators in this one. 4th best in the NHL, 84.9% kill rate. They've only given up 18 power play goals against, and I caution you now to watch out for this particular statistical nugget. 9 shorthanded goals for the Dallas Stars as well. They are dangerous when shorthanded. Not very many teams are. The Predators on the penalty kill are 77.3% on their kill rate. That's 24th overall in the NHL. They have given up 29 power play goals against on the season. We'd like to talk about the top 5 individual scores for each team to get you set up for the matchup. Let's start with the visiting Nashville Predators side first. 19 goals and 24 assists for 43 points for Philip Forsberg, and also Philip Forsberg's named the only all-star representative from the Nashville Predators. 19 goals, 24 assists, 43 points, leads the Nashville Predators at this point in the season. After 39 games skated, Philip Forsberg is still maintaining well above a point per per game, and if he can continue this consistency, he should be headed for a 40-goal season and a record-breaking season for a forward of the Nashville Predators, chasing Paul Kariya's 85 points. Back to the top 5 scorers on the team, though. Forsberg is first. O'Reilly is second, 15 goals and 18 assists for 33 points. The captain, Roman Josi, at 8 goals and 23 assists for 31 points. Nyquist is at 9 goals and 21 assists for 60 points. Sissons is at 12 goals and 9 assists for 21 points. Now, let's talk about the stats for the home team, Dallas Stars. And these particular players, the top 4 of the 5 scorers for the Dallas Stars, seem to feast against the Nashville Predators. Robertson, 12 goals, 25 assists for 37 points. The 25 assists represents tops in that category for the Dallas Stars. Pavelski has 15 goals, tied with Hintz, 15 goals for tops in that category, but Pavelski also has 20 assists for 35 points, makes him second on the team in scoring. Matt Duchene at 11 goals and 23 assists for 34 points on the season, having an incredible first season with the Dallas Stars. Rupe Hintz, 15 goals, 18 assists for 33 points, and Marchman's at 13 and 16 for 29. And I wanted to point out one particular statistical anomaly about the top 5 scorers in this one. When you take O'Reilly, you take Nyquist, and you take Matt Duchene, those are the top 3 scoring free agents so far this season. Of course, Matt Duchene was with the Nashville Predators, signed with the Dallas Stars, and O'Reilly and Nyquist signed as free agents with the Nashville Predators. Those are the top 3 free agent scorers in the National Hockey League from last summer's rotation. Goaltending matchup expected for this one, Ottinger, 11-7-2, usually plays pretty damn good against the Nashville Predators, 901 save percentage, 2.93 goals against average, and UC Saros, 16-14-1, a 901 save percentage, 3.01 goals against average, and Kevin Lankinen, 4-3-0, a 901 save percentage, same exact as UC Saros, and a 3.15 goals against average. So each of the Nashville Predators netminders now are one game over 500. They have the same exact save percentage, and they are separated by just 0.14 goals against. Is it time perhaps for Kevin Lankinen to get an opportunity coming up in the next couple of games? Something we'll talk about a little bit later on in the show during the analysis portion of the show. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators and Dallas Stars. It is a measuring stick game for this Predators team. They failed to measure up to the challenge at home against the Dallas Stars. Now they'll have an opportunity to make up for that, and they've got a lot to make up for after the most recent performance they had. That's what we're talking about next on the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. You give me 10 minutes, I'm going to give you the entire game. We go all the way back to January the 4th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were facing off against Calgary Flames and closing out the regular season series. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist; Sissons, Parson, and Sherwood; Smith, Novak, and Evangelista; Trennan, McCarron, and Sissons. Your defensive pairings are Josi and Favreau, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carrier. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just 14 seconds into the game at Bridgestone Arena, and UC Saros coming up with a save on Hannafin. That's the first shot on goal of the game at 2:35 of the first period. Vladar coming up with a save on Michael McCarron at 3:12 of the first. McCarron's off the box. 2 minutes for hooking. We got our first special teams situation, first penalty of the game, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Lindholm. Then UC Saros coming up with a save on Nazem Kadri, but then Zary gets his 8th goal of the season. He brings a whole lot of jam around the net, and this puck was pinballing and bouncing and going everywhere, and it went the only place that it needed to go was over the goal line, and he gets his 8th goal of the season. Calgary Flames lead 1-0 with a power play goal early in the first period, but at 5:12, almost immediately, Coleman, his 15th goal of the season, is off of Josi and into the net. The Calgary Flames, just like that, already up 2-0 here at Bridgestone Arena, but things are getting interesting here. It's not even a minute later. It's 6:09 in the first period now, and Philip Forsberg's getting his 19th goal of the season, cutting the lead to 2-1 in favor of Calgary. He brings the rebound jam and wins the battle in front of the net for the loose puck, converting for the Nashville Predators. We're at the 7:23 mark of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Anderson. 7:57. Nazem Kadri's 11th goal of the season restores the 2-goal advantage for the Calgary Flames, making this game 3-1. The Preds, slow to react in their own zone. The Preds, through the first 8 minutes of this game, just seem to be sleepwalking. They've given up 3 goals now in the first 8 minutes of the game. We are 8:11 into the first period. It's Vladar coming up with a save on Smith at 11:49. Vladar comes with a save on Juuso Parson, 15:09 of the first period. Now Vladar comes up with a save on Alex Carrier at the 15:50 mark of the first period. It's Colton Sissons coming up with his 12th goal of the season. Another remarkable hand-eye coordination play tip at the top of the crease. Parson also reaching out, had a chance to deflect it, but Sissons gets there, takes it away, and puts the puck in. Fabro was the one who had the long shot. Fabro's shot was set up by Roman Josi, so they both pick up assists on Colton Sissons. Pretty incredible redirect, and we've seen him do this a couple of times this season. His net front ability is pretty damn good. 12th goal of the season for Sissons gives the Predators their second goal of the game. Now Calgary leads 3-2. We're at 16:45 the first period. Hannafin and Evangelista both off the box, 2 minutes each. One for something and one for embellishing. It's 4-on-4. I'm just moving on from the situation. But during the 4-on-4 situation, the Nashville Predators could not simply move on because Anderson's picking up his 6th goal of the season. There was only 1 second left on the 4-on-4, and the Nashville Predators surrender the 4-on-4 goal, making this game 4-2 in favor of Calgary. Preds surrendering 4 goals here in the first period, 19-16 of the first period. It's Vladar coming up with a save on Smith. We hit the end of the first period, a pretty wild first period. Calgary, only 11 shots on goal, but they have 4 goals in this game. UC Saros is leaky, and so are the rest of the Nashville Predators. Preds have 10 shots on goal. We go to the clean sheet in the second period, and the Predators looking to respond. At 1:07 of the second period, UC Saros coming with a save on Lindholm at the 1:32 mark. Saros comes with a save on Uyghur at the 2:10 mark. It is Shen off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping Anderson, and then off to the box, 2 minutes for holding the stick on McCarron. McCarron doing a great job on the PK, holding the puck in the offensive zone, and while Anderson was down, he's going to go ahead and grab the stick of McCarron, creating a 4-on-4 scenario for 48 seconds. Preds survive this one when Saros makes the save on Backlund. The Predators then get a power play for 1 minute and 11 seconds, but unfortunately, absolutely nothing is happening for this Nashville Predators team on this man advantage. At 5:07 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Backlund at 5:51 of the second period. Vladar comes with a save on McCarron, 6:25. Saros, a save on Zari. The teams trading chances briefly here in the second period. The Nashville Predators would not show a whole lot of offensive life here in this middle frame. At 7:37 of the second, Saros comes with a save on Coleman, 8:44. Saros comes with a save on Sharon Govich at 12:04 of the second period. After some back and forth between the circles, it's Vladar coming up with a save on Shen. At the 12:43 mark, Tomasino's off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. This certainly brought the ire of the Calgary Flames as the knee was very close to being knee-on-knee. Saros comes up with a save on Sharon Govich while shorthanded, then comes up with another save on Coleman, and UC Saros come up with a third impressive save on Backlund before the Nashville Predators survive this penalty kill situation against Calgary Flames. We return to 5-on-5 hockey, and at 17:44 of the second, we find UC Saros coming up with a save on Backlund at 19:45 with just 15 seconds left in the period. Vladar comes up with a save on Cole Smith. We flip to the back of the sheet. For some reason, there's still things going in the second period, and we find at 19:59 of the second period, Hannafin, his 6th goal of the season. And I wrote a remark about just the sloppiest, laziest defensive coverage by Josi and McDonough and, frankly, everyone else on the team. Josi stepped up to try to keep the puck in the offensive zone with about 13 seconds left. And by the time there's 1 second left, there's odd man rushes all over the Preds' defensive zone. And the Calgary Flames are converting. And this 5th goal of the game truly takes any momentum that the Nashville Predators seem to be having, building, gaining, whatever. It took it all away. Shots on goal at the end of the second period. 5-2 in favor of Calgary is the score. Shots on goal, 26 for Calgary, and it is 19 for the Nashville Predators. We start the clean sheet in the third period with UC Saros finding himself on the bench, and Kevin Lankinen is clocking in to go to work. 28 seconds into the third period, it's Vladar coming up with a save on Jeremy Lauzon at the 1:27 mark. Lankinen makes his first save of the game, and that's on D. Simone. At the 2:15 mark of the third period, the Nashville Predators catch a break. Michael McCarron from the neutral zone dumps the puck in, catches Vladar unaware. McCarron gets his 6th goal of the season. It's the Preds' 3rd goal of the game. Calgary still has a 2-goal lead, 5-3, but the Preds, at least catching a break, seem to have a tiny bit of buzz to him. At 3:29 of the third period, Lankinen comes with a save on Gilbert. At 3:52 of the third, Vladar comes with a save on Sissons, plus the follow-up by Parson. At the 5:26 mark of the third period, Vladar comes with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. At 6:15, Lankinen comes up with a save on Backlund. At the 8-minute mark of the third period, Vladar coming up with a save on McCarron's wraparound opportunity. Michael McCarron, the offensive force in this game, 8:37 in the third period. Vladar comes with a save on the captain Romanos at the 9:32 mark. It's Lankinen coming in with a save on Nazem Kadri at 10:17 of the third period. Lankinen comes with a save on Ruzicka. 12:19. Vladar save on Tomasino. At 13:13, we find Vladar coming up with a save on Dante Fabro. But at 14:04 of the third period, we see Sharon Govich picking up a goal, his 12th of the season. This gives the Calgary Flames a 6-3 lead in this game, and that's all but sealed the score, but still some time to go in this game. The Nashville Predators, frankly, just unable to make any type of D-zone coverage in this game and just be effective truly at all in front of UC Saros. And with UC Saros already being leaky, 6 goals is, frankly, it's not a surprise. 14:30 of the third period. Now, we have to talk about this one. We have to slow down on this one. Tomasino picks up a match penalty for slew footing. Now, that leads to and means he is suspended immediately as of that penalty being called until the NHL reviews it and either rescinds the suspension or announces what the suspension may be, as in 1 game, 2 games, whatever it may be. Now, let's slow down and go back because that's the facts. That's where we are. Philip Tomasino went in hard on Gilbert, and it did not look like he slew-footed him. I watched it just like everybody else did on the broadcast, just like we all went and checked on the internet a dozen more times. I truly don't think this measured up to the level of a match penalty. With the player being down and injured, that's horrible. It's terrible to see, but it looked more like it was an unfortunate collision with a fall after the collision over Tomasino's leg that then led to him hitting his head on the ice. But the referees reviewed it, and they deemed it to be a 5-minute match penalty, and that is immediately a suspension. Now, with the Nashville Predators shorthanded for basically the remainder of the game, Lankinen comes up with a save on Kadri, then Lankinen comes with a save on Sharon Govich, and Lankinen comes up with one more save on Hanifin. Hit the 18:58 mark in the third period. Lankinen comes up with one more save on Coleman. 6-3 is your final. The Calgary Flames win this one in convincing fashion. At no point in time were the Nashville Predators a threat to winning this game. Right out of the gate, the Flames were the much better team. The Flames win the season series 2-1. These two teams were 1-1 and were exactly even in scoring. No reason that the Nashville Predators should have come out this flat on home ice. They were challenged by their head coach just a couple of days ago, but this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing that this Predators team is doing back and forth every other game. They're a beast on Tuesday, and then they can't even get out of their own way on Thursday. It's who knows what this Nashville Predators team is doing right now, but they're at an imbalance, and there's some things we need to talk about. But 6-3 is your final, and your shots on goal, 39 for Calgary, 32 for the Nashville Predators. That's going to do it for the Reverse Sports full game recap. We've got a lot of analysis coming up, and even some complaining to do right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast. UC Saros gets the start in this game, goes 20 out of 25, gives up 5 goals against in the 40 minutes that he played. He did not play in the third period, and let's face it, he was not good. He was leaky, maybe even worse than leaky in this one. Not all his fault. There was some lackadaisical defensemen in front of him. There was some lackadaisical D-zone coverage. There was, frankly, laziness all about the defensive zone. So it wasn't all UC Saros' fault, but Saros was also kind of leaky, and he's had some very unusual games. No, we're so far past talking about it being a slow start. We're at the middle point of the season. We're talking about a goaltender that can have a shutout on Tuesday and then go into a total slump and leave a deuce in the bed on Thursday, because that's what we saw out there at Bridgestone Arena, man. This one was a deuce in the crease. Not very good. 5 goals against, and Saros, frankly, didn't look that that good, but I'm not going to just blame it all on him. I'm just going to move on from him. I'm going to talk about Kevin Lankinen because I want to say positive things about Lankinen. Lankinen goes 13 out of 14 in this game. He did give up a goal. And listen, that turnover was dumb, and he knows that. Going behind the net, misplaying the puck, holding on to it too long, and then just frankly giving up an empty net goal. That's something he knows better than to do, but it did not end up being the end result of this game. It certainly wasn't the problem. I thought he was sharp overall, and he certainly faced plenty of shorthanded situations there in the third period with the match penalty. He made 5 power play saves, and it was 8 even strength saves in this game. So you got to ask yourself at this point, with the numbers being virtually the same. Now listen, the sample size is bigger, but Lankinen and Saros are each a game over 500, and they have a .901 save percentage, and they're separated by .14 in goals against. Is it time to let Kevin Lankinen get a couple of starts? Or is it as simple as, well, the good UC Saros will come back on Saturday night against Dallas because he's been on this up and down thing for the last 2-3 weeks now, where he gives up 5-6 goals, then comes in and goes, 39 out of 40 and gives up 1 goal against and is absolutely stellar. I'm not sure, but I think maybe Lankinen does deserve a little bit more time. We're about halfway through the season right now. He's got a record of 4-3, which means he's only played in 7 games. Would like to see him get about 10 games per each half of the season. Don't think he's going to get to that number unless he starts the next couple of games, that is. Philip Forsberg picks up a goal in this game. I can say a positive thing about that. His 19th goal of the season, and he is also an all-star. Philip Forsberg is on pace. We are just about to the halfway point in the season, so we can start making the estimations a little bit. He's at 43 points right now. If he continues with that consistency and production through the second half of the season, he should finish with around 86 points, which would eclipse Paul Kariya's mark for number 1 in forwards. Of course, Roman Josi holds the franchise record for points in the season, but it would be for forwards that Philip Forsberg would be eclipsing. But at this point in time, if he remains healthy and consistent, I think he is going to find himself between what Paul Kariya's record for forwards was and what Roman Josi's record for the franchise is currently. But Phil Forsberg, 19 goals now on the season, and also named to the All-Star team, the only representative for the Nashville Preds. It's great to see Phil Forsberg making a return to the All-Star game. He's a great personality, and he's going to be wonderful on whatever it is they feature him on at the broadcast, and they need to feature him. Phil Forsberg really is a pretty strong personality around for this Nashville Preds team. Colton Sissons and Michael McCarron pick up a goal each, and they work hard. They go to the net. They score hard. Michael McCarron caught a break in this one. He throws it in from the neutral zone, and it goes right into the net by Phil Forsberg's goal and bringing the jam was impressive, but Colton Sissons going to the net and bringing the jam and that redirect, and his net front presence has been such a pleasant and enjoyable thing to watch this season. Now, these two players are going to come into the next point, and I've got to tell you, secondary scoring cannot be Colton Sissons and Michael McCarron. It's great that Colton Sissons has 12 goals on the season and Michael McCarron has 6 goals on the season, and the two of them have generated 18 goals between them in the first half of the season. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. They are role players that work hard, they do their job, and they bring all the different elements to the game, from playing physical to going out there and also winning faceoffs and killing penalties. They do all of these things, and they're also contributing offensively, but they cannot be the secondary scoring. They can't be the secondary scoring. The top 5 of the Nashville Predators scoring has been the same virtually the entire season. Colton Sissons at 21 points. He's not even being pushed at that bottom mark right there. So for the Nashville Predators, I've got to ask, where is Luke Evangelista and Tommy Novak and Juuso Parssinen and Sherwood and Smith and Tomasino? Where are the young forwards that were putting up some good promising numbers towards the end of last season? Where have they gone? Their ice time is shrinking. They're going to be seeing the press box more if they don't start contributing more. And at the midpoint of the season, Barry Trotz and Andrew Brunette are going to have to sit down and talk about how they want to handle the second half and potentially a run at a playoff spot. Some of these underperforming young players might find themselves back at the AHL level, or perhaps something else. We don't know how Barry Trotz is going to approach the second half of the season or the trade deadline when it comes to that point. At this moment in time, I could not predict if Barry Trotz would buy or sell or just do kind of what he's been doing and smartly add here and there. But his waiver claims have already come and gone. Foodie is in Milwaukee. He's at least still with the organization, but Fagemo is already come, has already gone. So for the Nashville Predators, I don't know how they handle it moving forward, but some of these young players and the secondary scoring has to step up, or else the Predators are going to have to go out there and bring in somebody that can help bolster the top line, because this cannot be a one-line team. It's been a one-line team in the past, and it is the easiest way to find yourself defeated is to go back to the days of when the Jofa line was the only line that could score, and everyone else out there on the ice was just killing time. Secondary scoring cannot be just Sissons and McCarron. Don't worry, D-pairs. I'm coming for you next. The D-pairs were better. Listen to this. They were better when Stastny and Delgaizo were up here getting their opportunities during a couple of injuries there. I don't know why there's been such a regression in some of these defensive pairings and some of these defensive players. Alex Carey, Dante Fabro, even Ryan McDonough has not looked particularly good. The young defensemen are not growing right now. They're not playing consistent hockey, and frankly, the D-core is probably going to need a shakeup. You can tell me that Shen is getting back and he's getting healthy and he's starting to look more like himself, but the facts are the facts. He's just frankly not contributing out there on the ice in many positive ways, and where Luzon and Carrier were playing so good for a while together, right now it's not working out. So listen, the forwards have to come up with some secondary scoring. They got to bring a little bit more, and the defense core has to come up with a little better chemistry and a little bit more out of their production. They're just simply not getting it done in their own zone. Tonight was putrid. It's putrid, and I'm being nice. I'm being kind about it. You saw it with your own eyes. The numbers are right here in front of me all over the place. The D-zone coverage was as sloppy as the Predators have been at any point this season, and the Jekyll and Hyde of it all. That's the note I wrote down, hoping I would come up with something clever to say about it all, but it's just this up and down thing. The Preds give up 6 goals, then they score 5 goals. They can't beat anybody for a couple of days, then they can beat everybody for a couple of days. This team is truly a Jekyll and Hyde experience now. It's a rebuild. It is the first half of a season of a rebuild with a first-year general manager, a first-year head coach, a whole bunch of moving parts, a bunch of now underperforming young players, and a goaltender that has gone all up and down all over the place from the beginning of the season up until this very, very moment. And still, the Nashville Predators are currently holding a playoff spot, and they're just about at the midway point in the season. They're playing above expectations because they have a record above 500, and everybody thought they were going to be down with the Chicago Blackhawks competing for the basement of the Central Division. Instead, they're competing for a wild card spot right now, and they should be well in the thick of it moving into the second half of the season, because it looks like 5 teams from the Central Division are probably going to grab those spots with half a season to go. Of course, that can switch, and Edmonton is starting to creep, and of course, Calgary picks up a couple of points tonight, so nobody's out of it other than San Jose, okay? Maybe Anaheim. Chicago for sure. But listen, how they approach the second half of the season, the Nashville Predators, they got to get better, and the Jekyll and Hyde of it all has to slow down. They have to go back to getting more positive nights than they have these negative nights. And man, this was a tough one. The Preds just seem to not really show up with any energy, emotion, effort, any of that. That's going to do it for the analysis of this thing. I'm being respectful here. I'm calling it like I see it. That's the advantage I have here from the bunker and in the trenches, is that I can tell you the truth about what we see. I don't have to sugarcoat it. I can be respectful about it, and that's the way I'm going to handle it. But you got to clean some of these things up. It was just a putrid performance at the home rink tonight, and that's not acceptable. Stripe Digital Solutions, we need to hear from our good friends and good sponsor right there, and a couple other messages. Coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast, it's a good cold hard numbers of the box score. We got the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club update. You'll want to stick around for that. It's coming next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Renegades of Puck podcast box score. Let's get to it. Forsberg, McCarron, Sissons. Those are your goal scorers for this Nashville Predators team. On the assist side of things, Novak, Nyquist, O'Reilly, and Tomasino. On the forward side of things, Fabro and Yossi pick up assists on the defensive side of things. When it comes to shots on goal, the captain, Roman Yossi, had 4 in this game. And then we see, five players on the forwards with 3. Tomasino, Smith, Sissons, Yusa Parson, and Michael McCarron with 3 shots on net. When it comes to block shots, 3 was the high number, and only 2 were able to achieve that. Alex Carrier had 3 block shots, and Dante Fabro also had 3 block shots. When it comes to the physical elements of the game, the Cole Smith, that's right, 7 hits in this particular game, and Luzon added 4 to his league-leading total. So Luzon with 4 hits, second on the team. In total time on ice, 2014 for O'Reilly led the forwards. 17:03 by Philip Forsberg was second. 16:25 by Colton Sissons. Down on the defensive side of things, a little bit different look. 24:44 for Roman Yossi. Quite a bit of minutes for the captain of this game. 22:03 for Luzon and 20:58 for Ryan McDonough. And the power play situation, the Nashville Predators were 0 for 1 in this game. A limited power play, 112 for Philip Forsberg on the power play, 104 for Novak, and 104 for Colton Sissons. Of course, Colton Sissons picking up a goal. 104 for the captain, Roman Yossi, in this game. Shorthanded, the Nashville Predators went 3 out of 4 in this game. Shorthanded time on ice, and just a ton of shorthanded time on ice for the defenseman. Luzon had 536, and McDonough had 408. Shen had 336, and Carrier had 342. Of the forwards, Parson had 410, Smith 4 minutes, and Jakub Turner 343. It's too much, but the match penalty in the third period added a lot to everybody's shorthanded time on ice. Of course, it was 5 minutes of being shorthanded. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what fell out of the box score other than those last couple of numbers. So I mentioned the power play 0 for 1, the PK 3 for 4, the faceoff winning percentage only 40, dipping back down, that Jekyll and Hyde thing again. They were up at 60 the last game, down at 40 now. Block shots 16 for this game, 22 hits, 19 takeaways, and 10 giveaways, plus 9 on the takeaway giveaway margin of things. But in this particular game, it meant absolutely nothing as the Preds just get shellacked on home ice 6-3, and happened from the start, and it went all the way through to the finish. Now, let's go ahead and close this thing out, because the Calgary game, frankly, I've got nothing more to say about it. I want to talk about the Dallas game. It is a measuring stick game. I don't bring this term out too often when it comes to this Nashville Predators team, but this is absolutely a measuring stick game in Dallas. It was a measuring stick game the last time the Dallas Stars came to town. The Dallas Stars have been one of the most consistent and best performing teams in the Central Division for the last several seasons. So for the Dallas Stars, they are a measuring stick for this Nashville Predators team, and they have not lived up to that measuring stick very much in the last few years. So for the Preds, I need to see them come out strong. This is a tough road rink to go play in. Dallas has a good offense. They have players that are historically successful against this Nashville Predators team on an individual level. They have a goaltender in Ottinger who usually plays the Preds really tight and really tough and is capable of shutting down any opponent. So for the Nashville Predators, this is a measuring stick game. They have to fight through all of this. They have to fight through everything we've talked about in this one. They have to find the secondary scoring, the consistency in their defensive pairings. They got to find goaltending that isn't leaky, even if that means going with Kevin Lankinen for the start in this pivotal Central Division game. The Preds find themselves 6 points behind the Dallas Stars. They cannot go 0-2 against the Dallas Stars. They have a third matchup coming up next week on Friday, again in Dallas. So the Preds will play both of their games at Dallas within a week's time. The Preds need to come away with points in this one. They cannot let these 4-point swings get away from them. So for the Preds, a measuring stick game in Dallas on Saturday night. That means we're going to have a pretty critical eye on this particular game. And I want to see the Predators bring the jam, and I want to see them bring the effort the same way that I saw the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club make their season debut by bringing the jam and bringing the effort and bringing the unbreakable spirit of the Renegades of Puck to the rink. We went into the Bobcat Den and opened up the regular season. It's the third season in Renegades of Puck Hockey Club history. All time, the Renegades of Puck are 15-10-1. In the year 2023, the Renegades of Puck were able to make it to the playoffs in both of the seasons they played, making it to the Frozen Four. This year, with the lineup basically solidified from 2023 over to 2024, only one change. John Pawlenski has joined the team on the blue line, and what an incredible ad. Let's get into what happened at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Season opening night for the league. Second game of the night saw the Renegades of Puck taking on the Bobcats. I unfortunately could not start the game because my brand new skates had a malfunction. My blade had a complete blowout, and thankfully Yuri was there to help take care of it. Still took till the second period to get it done, but I was able to get out there on the ice. Now, tight game, close affair out there on the rink. Not a lot of room to move, not a lot of shots on goal. The two teams playing each other tough in the first game of the season, feeling each other out. It was the Bobcats going up 1-0 in this game. Renegades of Puck chasing for a little bit while we were shorthanded, but then able to even out the ice as the second period turned into the third period. And then it was Skip McFarland chipping the puck out of the defensive zone out into the neutral zone, taken away by Bryce Levette all the way down into and through the goaltender and into the net, tying the game up at 1 apiece. The two teams would stay locked in a battle for the remainder of the third period, going back and forth. Each team had their opportunities, but the Renegades of Puck put up a good neutral zone game and were actually quite good at passing in this game. Backed up by Aaron Frotz, it went to an automatic shootout after the end of regulation, tied at 1 apiece, and it went all the way to the 5th round of the shootout. Pretty incredible stuff right here. The goaltender for the Bobcats stops the first 4 shots on goal. Aaron Frotz stops the first 4 shots in the shootout, and then it is our brand new defenseman, Jay Powell, going in and putting the puck in the net, scoring in the shootout. Aaron Frotz shuts it down on the other end, and the Renegades of Puck get off the rink, winning the shootout in the 5th round 1-0, winning the game overall 2-1, and heading off the rink with a 1-0 record on the season. Fantastic beginning of the season. A little bit shorthanded, 4 forwards out of the game tonight, but we had our whole new decor in, and Aaron Frotz was great in net as he always is. Renegades of Puck 1-0 on the season. Puck Buddies next week, 8:15, Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Huge game for this early portion of the season. Come on out, free admission. Check it out, the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Again, that's Renegades of Puck Hockey Club picking up their 16th all-time franchise victory. Not so bad for a bunch of Renegades. I am your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. That's all we can talk about for tonight. Let's go ahead and get out of this 40-degree bunker. Let's move on from Operation number 849 back in the bunker Saturday night for Operation number 850. Appreciate each and every one of you. Stick taps, love, and respect.